Hey there, everyone. It's Friday, the 26th of February. I'm in the nation's capital, but I turned the camera off because I'm in the car. I'm running around super busy. It's why I haven't done a video for college basketball yet today. So we're going to go over it really, really fast. It was an okay day yesterday. I don't even have time to really go over it, but I'm not even going to go over it. It was okay, but like one of our big games lost with Ohio State, blew it late, and USC did not beat Colorado. Southeastern Missouri State won at like plus 200 yesterday, and Michigan beat Iowa, right? So that was good. Anyway, let's talk about today. There are more than a few underdog on the list. Of course, we have 5 away underdogs here. That will happen because we have no home bump going on here. And yesterday, if you'd put in about a 6% home bump, that was like the optimal way of showing how well it could have gone yesterday. I am going to look at yesterday for a second. So we're 25-9, but if you had put in a 6% home bump, because look at all these away teams that lost down here. You'll see. No, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Sorry, I don't have time for this. Let's just go over today. So today, the 26th, what's good? Well, Bradley's operating at 59% against Drake, so Drake's probably going to cover that 7.5. Drake has been looking like their health is a little bit lower for a couple weeks now, or at least a week. It doesn't seem to be affecting them because they keep winning. So I think they're probably going to cover that 7.5 against Bradley. Alabama Birmingham away, covering 3.5 against Texas San Antonio. A lot of things that I did in the video yesterday about pruning out games that you want to play was actually pretty helpful. I looked at the list and it was pretty reasonable. So you want to get stronger teams. Is there anything that looks great? Let's look at that underdog list real quick, even though those were all away teams. So North Texas away at Marshall's plus 150. Richmond away at St. Louis is plus 180. And Texas Rio Grande away at Utah Valley. These are all away teams. The margins are pretty low, but this Omaha at Denver, although they're hurting a little bit, is not great. Purdue at Penn State is plus 106. Some interesting games in here. I bet you... well, I'm not going to bet anything. So those are to look at the underdogs. Then, is there anything else of interest? Like I said, this Drake covering 7.5 because Bradley's really hurting. I think that's a really good pick with the spread there. Anything else popping out is really cool? Well, anything with some decent lines up here? Spread cover. This is only minus 330. Southern Utah at Northern Arizona, but they're not that strong of a team. But they think they're going to cover. Yeah, this Alabama Birmingham at Texas San Antonio, 36%. Says they're going to win by 12 according to the point projections, and they only have to cover 3.5. Away at Manhattan. Indiana State has to cover 3 at Valpo. Says they're going to win by 9. So it's really just a lot of teams where we think they're going to cover the spread. They're up on this list. I mean, you got 34 games here. I mean, honestly, I'm having more fun betting on hockey. I don't really know what to tell you here. There's nothing excellent. You could consider taking all these underdogs with the points and see how they do. There's 5 of them there. And they're all favored to win without any home bumps, so that's kind of interesting. But, not a great day, really, for anything. Omaha is going to beat Denver. Denver is a miserable team, actually. I remember seeing them play. Texas Rio Grande. I don't know. All right, so not a great-looking schedule today, but there certainly are some teams that I think are going to cover the spread up top. Grand Canyon away at Seattle has to cover 5. We think they're going to win by... we think they're going to more than cover that. Keep looking at this spread cover number. Where this spread cover number is really large is where you want to focus on getting your picks with the spread. So Missouri State over Evansville, Southern Utah over Northern Arizona, Grand Canyon at Seattle. This will be interesting. When you look at the previous day, I'm going to get off of today for a second. When you look at the previous day, we just keep talking. It wasn't that bad, actually. When you just did this descending by spread cover, look at this. I mean, it's 14 games going 10-4 on the spread. That's pretty good. Plus, these are all winners. A lot of these are winners as well. So there's something to be said for sorting this thing by spread cover, because our projected scores have actually been doing fairly well. When I look over the Google sheet, some of them are just unbelievably close, and where the differential between the teams is like 20 or 30 points, and I'm wondering how it's doing that. It's definitely doing a pretty decent job, so I'm pretty happy with that, and hopefully that will continue through the tournament. So go back to margin, and looking at this day yesterday, a lot of wins up top, but we fell apart down here. That's why I said you're 25-9, but if you did this 6% bump, little home bump, you go 27-7, and you clean up all this stuff down here. So that was interesting. There certainly is some home bump that should apply. I just don't know exactly what it is. It's somewhere between 0 and 20. And it just lets you know that watch out for these away teams down here with low margins. So let's go back to today for a second and show you where that is. It has to do with a lot of those underdogs we talked about. Is a lot of these underdogs are not going to win. Your away teams with really low margins, like anything under 20%, but even really, so all these away teams are suspect. But the ones down here are really suspect because they're under a 9% or 5 or 6% bump, essentially. So you got to watch out for this. It's something like Northern Iowa operating at 72% against Illinois State. Makes me want to think about Illinois State even more, given that it's so far down on this list. So there's a lot to think about. Subscribe if you want to copy the file and want to dig into it yourself. And good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning.